Everybody, and welcome back, welcome back to the Ultimate Racing League Saturday Evening Challenge. This is race 2 of 3, a 15-minute race around Mount Panorama in Australia, New South Wales, in a little town called Bathurst. Now, I've mentioned this is race 2. We saw Osman take the win in race 1 with Derg and Grasshopper having a good fight for second and third. Derg winning that battle that time. Let's just see if Grasshopper can do anything about it in this race. Now, good positions for this race are as they finished in race 1. So we will have a quick rundown and see where everybody is. Now, as I mentioned, Osman won, so he's back on pole position in the Genesis. Derg is in second, just behind him. Grasshopper is third on the grid. Unforgiven is fourth. Stealth, great race from him in race 1. Good fight he had with Brian Moncani towards the end, and Stealth finishes on 5th. Brian Moncani is 6th. Inky is 7th. Ruthless is 8th. Pete is 9th. Phaser is 10th, and Ninky New in 11th. So there will be a change of tyres for the guys. We will have a look at that as we go through the race. So we'll get this one underway, shall we? As I say, race 2 of 3 at Mount Panorama. We can hear the klaxon going, and across the line they go, and starting lap 1 as Osman takes us up to turn 1, Hell Corner. In the very quick Genesis, Derg is going to try and stay with him. Now, I said we're going to have a rundown of the tyres because the guys have got to use a different compound of tyre in this race. So Osman and Derg both starting on the hard. Grasshopper also electing for the hard tyres. Unforgiven also going for the hards. Wow, is everybody on the hards then? So the top 5 at least on the hards. Inky going for the mediums. He wants to make up for race 1. Bit of a rare mistake from Inky on lap 2. Cost him the race for race 1. But he's on the medium tyres now, and I'm sure he'll be looking to finish up there on the podium in this race 2. Already putting in the challenge against Stealth. It all getting a bit touchy-feely as we go up into the mountain section. This is the highest part of the track as they go across the park section, McPhillamy Park, then through the S's and down the Dipper. What the track is known for, really, is quite a drop. And and somebody's got, who's gone? Let's just have a look. We have had a casualty. Oh, and it's Grasshopper on the hard tyres. Let's just see what happened to Grasshopper as we go through the Dipper. Oh, and he's just got it completely wrong, and he's had a bit of a kiss with Barrier, and that's dropped him all the way to the back. That's unlucky for Grasshopper. He's on the hard tyres as well, and he's got damage. Not the start he wanted for this race. Now, we were looking at the tyres, weren't we? And Inky was on the medium, Stealth on the hard. Peter's chosen to go for the softs in race 2. Phaser also on the hards. Ninky New on the soft. Ninky's got damage as well, so he's had a bit of a coming together with the Barrier as well at some point. And then, as we saw, Grasshopper on the hard tyres all the way down at the back now. So back up to the top. Osman trying to stretch his lead. Well, he's not trying, he is doing, isn't he? Osman looks like he absolutely loves this track. As he crosses the line to start lap 2, Osman trying to pull away from Unforgiven. Unforgiven has got by Derg, so that must have been on the Conrad. Well, everybody slowed down, so let's just see on what has happened. Stealth is at the back this time. Now then, what? Oh, have we had a bit of a coming together then? Pete and Stealth down the Conrad Straight, down towards the chase. Oh, that's Phaser. It's well. I'm not quite sure. Everybody's gone off. Let's have a look from Ninky New's point of view. We're looking at the cars up ahead. and that's Pete, Stealth and Phaser, and I think, well, it's not for me to call that one, is it? It was a bit of a coming together of practically everybody except the front few. So safety car called. Safety car has been called. So they are all lining up, well, they're all ghosting because they are that close. Come on guys, you know the rules, you're supposed to be at least a car length apart, but no, we're all going to get right up and in each other, where it all looks a bit silly, doesn't it? I love it, all these ghosts. Oh, it's like, well, it's Halloween after all, isn't it? All these ghosts on the track. We should be a car length apart for safety cars. Everybody getting in the person in front of them, so everybody's in everybody else. So let's just have a look. Who's going to get the drop on who? Are we actually racing again now? I'm not sure. We are. I think we are. I think we're going for it now. It does look like Osman has got his foot on the noisy pedal and he is away. So Osman leads us back up into the mountain section then for the second time after the safety car called. So Unforgiven is in second. Inky made his way up into third, having a much better start to the race than he did in race one. So great to see Inky up there on the podium at the minute, on the medium tyres as well, so maybe he's going to be starting to challenge Unforgiven and Osman as we progress into this race and those tyres get warmed up. Everybody's still going to be on pretty cool tyres at the minute, only really completing one lap. So Inky putting Unforgiven under some pressure already. Let's just jump on board with Inky as we go down towards Forest Elbow. This tight left-hander, it's all about getting on the power early, getting a good exit out of turn 18 through turn 19 onto the Conrad Straight, get into the slipstream of the car in front. Inky's got no worries of that behind him, so he can concentrate fully on getting the move done on Unforgiven. Unforgiven, there's not much he can be able to do about this as Inky pulls alongside. And I think he's got the move done, or has he? He's still having to go the long way round. Oh, and it's too tight in there, and he's on the grass. Now, I don't think there was any contact. Unforgiven retakes that second position. We'll go back and have a look at that. Now, Inky pulls alongside Unforgiven. The two BMWs side by side. Now, Inky just couldn't get that car slowed down enough to make that turn and gets himself all on the grass. Unforgiven retakes P2 and Inky has now got to get those tyres cleaned up. So he's just got to be a little bit careful through Murray's corner and maybe even Hell corner as well, turn one, before he can get back on it again. He just needs to take a few deep breaths, I think. Very early in this race at the minute, we're 5 minutes in, we've got 10 minutes to go, so plenty of time yet for Inky. Pete is now getting closer and closer, and then we've got Brian Moncani and Grasshopper fighting it out for fifth as they go up the hill towards turn 2. The two GTRs, it looks like they're actually glued together there, doesn't it? Still side by side as they go through Griffin's Bend. Grasshopper just emerges in front of Brian Moncani as we now start the climb up into the mountain section. Around the cutting they will go and up to the highest point through Frog Hollow. Grasshopper just in front of Brian Moncani. Brian really seems to be having some fantastic battles, doesn't he? He had a great fight with Stealth in race 1 and he's continuing where he left off, but this time with Grasshopper. Grasshopper was unfortunate in lap 1 where he had that incident around about this section. Oh, and he's done it again. He's had another little bit of a coming together with the barrier. Now Brian slowed down. I am going to go back and have a look at that, and we'll see it from Brian's point of view. I don't know if Brian caught Grasshopper. I think he may have thought he did. Oh, there was a touch there which may have unsettled Grasshopper. Yeah, and I think Brian did the right thing by just hanging back, letting Grasshopper keep the position. That has allowed Stealth and Phaser to get right up and onto these two guys. Into Forest Elbow they go. Stealth and Phaser are there. We'll get the right camera, shall we? Now everybody is in everybody else's slipstream. The only person who's not getting a slipstream is Grasshopper, so Brian Moncarney is going to pull out. Is Stealth going to have a go as well? Brian gets the job done before we get down to the chase. Is Stealth having a look? Stealth is having a look. So Grasshopper now has lost 2 positions on the Conrad Straight, and he's coming under attack from Phaser as well. Phaser also on the hard tyres though, so Grasshopper may be able to defend against Phaser, but Brian Moncarney goes through to 5th, Stealth in 6th. Let's just have a look at the tyres again, shall we? Brian is on the mediums, Stealth on the hard, so Stealth doing a great job on those hard tyres. Into Hell Corner they go for the 4th time. These 4 cars having a fantastic battle as they make their way up Mountain Straight. Up the hill they go towards the mountains again. Grasshopper having a look at the back of Stealth. Is he going to go for it? He has pulled out. He's having a bit of a cheeky look, isn't he? Not quite going to get it done. I think he was just letting Stealth know that he was there. Just trying to put the pressure on. I thought we'd lost somebody there. We hadn't. It was just Phaser getting a bit of a wobble going. So Brian Moncarney leads this little group through and into the mountain section. Phaser just tagging onto the back of those 3 in front in the Mustang. Fantastic looking car there. He's got the livery on for Star Wars as well. Derg in 9th. Well, I'm not quite sure what happened to Derg. He was up there with Osman, wasn't he? So I'm not quite sure what happened to Derg, but he finds himself down in 9th. Ruthless is 10th and Ninky No 11th. Now Osman out in front and looking comfortable as he did in race 1. Inky has made his way up into race 2, into position 2. He is coming under attack from Unforgiven though. But Inky on the medium tyres, Unforgiven trying to get up, have a look at the inside, but he's not going to get that done there. He is on the hard tyres as well. So Inky's going to have the advantage, isn't he? As far as tyres goes, Inky didn't have the great first race, so definitely making it up for it this time. As we go around Murray's Corner then, and across the start-finish line to start lap 5, we have just under 5 minutes of race 2 to go. Inky leading just ahead of Unforgiven. We can see Osman up ahead. Now again, Osman on the hard tyres, Inky on the medium, so Inky should have the advantage as far as tyres go, especially up into the mountain section. So we'll see if Inky can catch up with Osman within the next 4 minutes or so. Pete in 4th. He's having a good second race, isn't he, Pete? He's on the soft tyres and he's making them work for him. So up into 4th in the Mercedes goes Pete. Brian Moncarney in 5th. Got a bit of a gap now back to Grasshopper, who's in 6th. Derg has made his way up into 7th, so he's gained a couple of positions in the last lap. Not quite sure what happened to Derg, we missed that, and apologies for that. Phaser in 8th. Then we've got Stealth and Ruthless, so Stealth has dropped down a few places as well, so he must have had a bit of an issue at some point. But Stealth on the hard tyres is battling away with Rufus on the soft tyres. As we go through the dipper, well, through the S's and then into the dipper, and then down towards Forest Elbow they go. Rufus trying to catch up to the back of Phaser. He's about there, isn't he? He needs a great exit from turn 18 if he's going to get into the slipstream of that Mustang of Phaser's. Down the hill they go. We can just see in the background Ninky Nu has picked up a half-second penalty, so that'll be track limits or maybe even a barrier. a barrier kiss, but Ruthless not quite close enough to Phaser to challenge him before they get to the chase, but he is closer. Down towards Murray's corner they go. Ruthless really just needs to tuck up underneath Phaser's rear wing as they go down the main straight across the start finish line. If he can get a good exit out of turn 1, he's having a bit of a look up the inside, but this is where he needs a good exit. If he can get into the slipstream of Phaser as they go up the hill through the mountain straight, this is where Ruthless can try and make his move before they get to Griffin's Bend and turn 2. But Ruthless really needs to be a lot closer than he is. We'll just leave these two and have a quick rundown of the order. Ninky New in 10th. We have got about 2.5 minutes of this race to go. Stealth all the way down to 11th now. So really struggling. Inky with the fastest lap at 2:04.6. And he is in second position at the minute, chasing Osman down. Osman doing an absolute storming job on those hard tyres. It doesn't really seem to bother him what tyres he's got on, does it? He just gets himself in front and stays there. He loves it out in front, leading the way, taking control of this race. Inky in second then. Very frustrating for Inky. He can see Osman just in the distance, just can't quite get close enough to him. Unforgiven in third in the BMW. Really not like Unforgiven to race the BMW. I was quite surprised when I saw that. Brian Moncani in fourth. Oh, he's having a bit of a fight with Pete. Pete all over Brian. Pete just cannot find a way through. Let's jump on board with Pete as we go into Murray's corner for the 6th time. Oh, and Brian goes deep again. We saw he did exactly the same thing in race 1 when he was being put under pressure by Stealth. But this time Brian got away with it. Into turn 1 we go. Again, Brian taking the deeper route, and that's allowed Pete through. So Pete moves up into 4th. Brian Moncani is now going to have to chase Pete. So Pete on the soft tyres, Brian on the mediums. Into turn 2, Griffin's Bend they go. We are into the last minute. So we're going to go up and run down the order. So Osman looking comfortable out in front. Inky in second. Unforgiven is third. Pete is 4th. He's coming under pressure from Brian Moncani in 5th. Grasshopper is 6th. Derg in 7th. Ninky New 8th. Then we've got Stealth, Phaser, and then Ruthless down in 11th. So we're just following our race leader Osman as he goes towards Forest Elbow and turn 18. For the last time, we only have about 20 seconds to go, so this will be his last lap. So down Conrad Straight, Osman heads. Doesn't look like he's going to get caught, does he? Inky just cannot get close enough. Inky though, fantastic second race from him, really showing what he can do. But Osman and the Genesis looking very dominant as they did in race 1, so it's going to be 2 out of 2 for Osman. We're just going to follow him through now. Murray's corner. For the last time, he can see the checkered flag being waved at the end of the straight, and there we go. Osman across the line to take the win. Inky, fantastic race from Inky to take second. Unforgiven across the line in third, so they are the podium lineup for race 2. Grasshopper battling away with Pete, but Grasshopper has made his way up into 4th. So well done to him. Pete across the line in 5th. Derg 6th in the end. Brian Moncani is going to cross the line to take 7th. Ninky New 8th in the Porsche. And then Stealth across the line in 9th. Followed by Ruthless and then Phaser. So that was race 2. We've got one more 15-minute race to come up for you. So Fazer just bringing that Mustang home and across the line. The back end already complaining as he crosses the line. So that, as I say, it was race 2 here in Australia, Mount Panorama. Hopefully you can join me again very shortly for race 3.